You know, when your mana's screwed, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Daily Draft. We are still drafting Best of 1 Dominaria United here on the channel. Had a lot of them in the format so far. There's still plenty of decks that I have not drafted and still want to draft. I'm not going to force them, but looks like we're playing black today with the Cruelty of Gix. This card is absolutely insane. 5 mana can do any of these 3 things or all 3 if you have the time. So we're taking Cruelty of Gix and pretty much forcing black as much as we can, hoping it doesn't get too cut because this card is absolutely incredible. One of the cards I have not, or one of the decks I have not yet had the chance to draft is the Eerie Soul Tender, Writhing Necromass, Repossession, kind of super black-green graveyard value deck. And I'm going to follow this up with a Repossession here. We cut the only black card out of this pack. The person to our left is almost assuredly not going to be in black. We didn't pass them a good black common. Is Battlewing Mystic and Electrostatic Infantry better than Repossession? Probably, but this is twice as good as both of these cards too. So I'm going to take the Repossession, look to get into black as much as we can. Now there's an LSO Core versus Phyrexian Rager. Interesting pick here. I almost wish that LSO Core just wasn't here so we could just take the Rager. But this card is also very, very good. The Rager, I mean, we can still splash the kicker on this. You don't have to play with the kicker. It's obviously a lot better, but I think LSO Core is just enough better than Rager to take it here. I mean, this is really, really close. I'm obviously going to regret this if I don't end up white, but I could also splash the LSO Core. It's just a very, very good card. So we'll take that here. Now we have Prophecy versus Conscript. Conscript is really, really good in this black-white sacrifice bone splinters type of deck. There's also a tail swipe. We wanted to abandon this and look into green. But I think Conscript goes really, really well with what we already have. So I'm going to go ahead and take that. Now there's another Repossession. There's a Haunted Mire and a Bite Down, a Swarm that I don't care about. I think I'll take the Haunted Mire to splash the Repossession kicker if I need to. I'd probably play 2 of these, but it also depends on the kind of creatures we get. If we don't get great creatures, there's not great things to return. But I'm going to take my first dual land here in Haunted Mire. And now there's a Radiant Grove over a Barricade or a Bite Down. Both of these are pretty good, but the Radiant Grove and the Mire back-to-back kind of guarantees that we can play both of these cards in our deck, which is going to be important, I think. Because if we go black-white or black-green, either one of these helps us splash the other. I would not mind playing a Barricade. In fact, I'd love playing a Barricade. Bite Down is also decent. But let's go ahead and fix our mana here early. And take another Cult Conscript. And look for all the Bone Splinters. Look for all the good sacrifice cards and things. And yeah, be on our way to what I think could be a pretty fun deck here. Restoration, we don't need that with a copy of Repossession already. There's Artillery Blast if we're defensive. And there's Barricade and Splatter Goblin. I think I'm going to take the Barricade with double Conscript. I have to make sure I get a copy of this. And the first copy is totally fine to pick up here, pick 8. Have not seen a single Eerie Soul Tender. Have not seen a single Writhing Necromass yet. So the Soul Tenders are going to be very, very high value in this deck with double Conscript here. And a Repossession already. So definitely going to have to look out for some Soul Tenders. We are already on the wheel, so we will not be able to wheel any because there weren't any in the opening packs. Now we have Drawbridge, Sabotage. I think I'll just take a Vivisector here and not really look too much into that pick. Yeah, none of this matters. Maybe we get into black-white. We open a, what's it called? Wingmantle Chaplain or something in the next pack. This could work. Because if we are in black-white, Chaplain and Blightpile are access. We have access to both those cards. But we're looking for a little bit more power here, looking for, you know, some Phyrexian Ragers. I know I took Ellis Core over it. I still stand by that pick. But some Ragers and definitely Soul Tenders and Necromasses, and then we'll be off to the races here. And Battle Rage Blessing's the only card we could really consider out of that pack. So far we have the Sadistic Pilgrim pulling us toward white, and really not much pulling us toward another color. I mean, the Repossession toward green, but we're not like married to having to kick this. But we are married to having a white source to cast this card if we want to. So we're still relatively open in this draft. Shadow Prophecy, really good pickup here. Love to see that. And haven't really been super impressed with Battlefly Swarm, to be honest. It's a playable card, and it works well with Conscript. Haven't seen any Bone Splinters yet either, so I'm going to have to hope that Pack 2 and Pack 3 hook us up a little bit to get a nice synergistic deck. But I think we can. We've got 67% of the draft left to do here. And a last pick, Spooter Boy. All right. Ooh. Urg Spawn of Turg, anyone? For self-mill? Conscript's pretty good with that. Cruelty's pretty good with this. Sunlit Marsh is also another really good pick here. Take up the Shield if we're going black-white, but I think it's between Urg, Take Up, and Sunlit Marsh here, and I think I'm going to try to do Urg. I don't think we need to take the land this early over either of these cards. So I'm going to take Urg and see if some of these black cards come around that we want. And they kind of do, with Necromass, Bone Splinters, and Cut Down. We want all of these a lot. But Cut Down just seems like the best of them. It's not situational. If we draw Bone Splinters but not our Conscript, this card isn't great. If we draw Necromass without any self-mill, this card isn't great. If we draw Cut Down, the card is great. So I'm going to take the Cut Down over those two and hopefully not regret it. And here's our first Eerie Soul Tender. You love to see it. All right. There's another Repossession. Doubt it wheels. One of these two cards would obviously be great to wheel. Prayer of Binding is definitely considerable here. But Soul Tender is exactly what this deck needs to really make sure we get off on a good foot with exactly how we want this deck to operate here. So we have two uncommons that are kind of pulling us toward green or white, and I think we can splash whichever one we don't have the base color of. So looking good there. I really hope I don't have to make the pick between a second Soul Tender and a first Necromass, because I don't know exactly what I'm going to take in that situation. Is there any more self-mill in black and green? I guess Urg and Soul Tender are the best two ways to do that. Okay, well, here's a Necromass, so we'll take that. Aaron, a little white heavy, and I think we're going a little bit more down the green route here. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Necromass here. And when I said at the beginning of the draft that there are decks that I haven't yet drafted that I want to, this was number one on that list. This kind of black-green value, mill yourself kind of deck. And I'm super excited to see how this one goes for us here. Shadow Prophecy number 2. This card doesn't matter. This card sucks. Sacred Peak's not really the land we're looking for, and I'm not a fan of Meteorite, so I guess we'll take Shadow Prophecy number 2 and probably play two of them. Again, it does put cards into the graveyard. So that's pretty good. I doubt I'd play 3, but 2 seems okay, especially with the Barricade to gain some of that life back, maybe. Splatter Goblin, Bite Down, Radiant Grove. Crystal Grotto. What's our curve looking like? Not outstanding, so I think I'll take Splatter Goblin here. We haven't seen any Extinguish the Lights yet, or anything like that. So let's go ahead and take our 2-drop, eat our vegetables, take the low drop creature here. Plaza of Heroes, no. None of this is making our deck. So we'll throw a Broken Wings into the sideboard. Splatter Goblin number 2. We don't really have any reason to want to splash white right now. There have been a couple Citizen's Arrests going around, so maybe black-white was the way to go. And then take up the shield wheel. Take up the shield wheels. So I will take it. And Bone Splinters wheel. Thank you. Awesome. We got both of them anyway. Ooh, Bite Down also wheeled. Thanks. So we've got Urg, we've got Bite Down, and we've got Repossession versus Take Up the Shield and Ellis Ilcor. Okay, so this is a bit interesting as far as green versus white. We're going to have to make some decisions here and pick about 1 through 3 of this last pack. I don't know. I don't like Meteorite. We do have a Snare Spinner if we have to for green. Battlefly Storm if we have to. Rage Blessing. Artillery Blast, not bad. Okay. And now we have what I told you was the interesting options. Squee enough for us. We have Cavalier, which goes very well with the black-white version of this deck, with the Bone Splinters, Barricade, things like that. There's a Radiant Grove to help splash green. There's also another Bone Splinters. And I think it's between these 3, and I think I'm going to land on the Cavalier over the Radiant Grove here. There's also Strength of the Coalition. But there's a chance this card just straight up doesn't make our deck with what direction we go. So I think I'm going to take the Cavalier. Man, so many difficult choices here. Evolve, so we know we're black. So Evolve Sleeper is probably going to be my pick here. Prayer of Binding is very, very good in black-white. It's also splashable. Take up the shield. The last one wheeled. This one could too? Question mark? How much interaction do we have? We have Bone Splinters, we have Cut Down, we have an Artillery Blast. This is also a decent card to get back. Yeah, some of y'all might have taken Prayer of Binding there, which is defensible, I think. Okay, now we have probably a Runic Shot, but no way to kick it. So I don't know if it's really worth playing. Because our other option is like a Scout the Wilderness. Or a Tribute. Guess we could take Tribute. Maybe we find access to a blue land here at some point. We're not really doing the whole domain thing. So take the Tribute. Find another Necromass. Take that over Captain's Call, Protector, and Radiant Grove. We have 1 Soul Tender and 2 Prophecies to mill ourselves and an Urg to mill ourselves. I doubt this is going to make it. So I think I'm going to take the second Necromass here. Barricade number 2 over not much else. This isn't the land we're looking for. Alright, Destroy Evil, Necromass number 3, Haunted Mire. We currently have 14 creatures. We have to make sure these Necromasses have enough creatures to put into the yard to be good. I'd love another Haunted Mire. And I would not mind playing a Destroy Evil here. But I think Synergy is the name of the game, and that's what we need here. Okay. Repossession, take up the shield. I think I'll take the repossession over the second take up the shield. Tail swipe and another take up the shield. Okay, so we are more white, I think. So we can use this card to protect our creatures. I think we're white-black with a splash of Urg and the double repossession, I think is what our deck is here. Yeah, Bone Splinters, double conscript is good. Also with double repossession, it's pretty good even with Splatter Goblins and Vivisectors here. So we'll take the Splinters. We wheel the shield anyway. There's also a Cavalier. 15 creatures. I think I'm going to take the shield here. Probably put that back in and maybe that's it. I don't think I'm playing any of these cards here. Maybe this, but I doubt it. Radiant Grove wheeling. Wow. Awesome. 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 That helps a lot. Ooh, Citizen's Arrest. Last pick, Citizen's Arrest. Okay. I'll probably play it. All right. So we only saw one Eerie Soul Tender, and we took it when we saw it. So did what we could on that front. Currently have 8 cuts to make. And honestly, they can't be creatures. So, wow, this is a difficult deck to build. Okay, so we have this package here, here, and here. So this is kind of like a self-mill package. We have 16 creatures, which like isn't a ton. I don't think we can play 3 of these. Artillery Blast is probably not necessary. Bone Splinters, maybe just 1. Bite down on the splash doesn't seem completely necessary. Tribute without access to kicker isn't great. I'm looking at this Battlefly Swarm as a potential cut. Then again, that puts us down to 15. That's probably about where I'd want to stay with it. I think Double Prophecy is fine. Maybe just 1 take up the shield? No, it's probably right to cut a Prophecy. Then it would look like that, and then my thought is maybe a Bone Splinters or another take up the shield, but I would have to cut something else. Double Barricade doesn't seem great in this deck. Like, Singular is fine. So we could put this back in, and then I would probably put back either in 1 more of these things. Bone Splinters is good with double Goblin, potentially double Conscript, and the Cavalier. So our win con here is definitely Necromast and recurring them, and Cruelty. So if those are our win cons, then protecting those win cons seem probably pretty important. Okay. So we're looking like this here. We have an Urg and double repossession to splash the kicker off of. And that's it. We have 3 green sources right now. What if we went to 4 and cut a white? We'd be down to 6 white. I think I'd like 7 white. What are we at now? 9 black? Ooh, that's not good. Okay, where'd it go? I don't think we can afford to play that extra forest. This is 7 white. No, maybe 6 is fine, and we go to 10 black. We definitely need lots of black in this deck. So 10 black, 6 white, and 3 green here. I know 6 white for a rest is like not great, but I think it's still fine. So got to be careful with the milling, that if we put too many planes in the yard, we might not be able to cast this. But I think this looks good. So yeah, a little bit of a Abzan kind of value graveyard, protect your creatures, cast them for cheap deck here, and we'll see how it does here in the queue. Limited Grinder. Limited Grinder here in Platinum near the end of this season, but we will keep this one. I think I'm going to lead on Meyer. There's not a 1-drop I can think that I'd want to cut down here. So I'm just going to do this so I can have access to Soul Tender on 3. With my luck, usually the Soul Tenders mill the Necromasses. Oh, well, good. We got one in hand there. Yeah, we can still hold up cut down if we do this. So we'll just... I know we don't get to progress our board, but we do potentially get to make sure that they don't have a creature that is relevant after this here. Alright, suspicious of Counterspell once again. But can I afford... Okay, good. Definitely should have waited to end step, because I don't know if I was going to cast Soul Tender into open blue mana. But now I definitely will, and I hope I hit 3 creatures. Oh. No. Instead, we hit Cruelty. But we did clear the way for a potential land off the top that we missed. So we'll do this here. Go to damage, and end the turn, hold up, cut down, and take up the shield. Okay. Probably gonna Bone Splinters the Goblin. Is it worth taking up the shield on that? No, I don't think it is. Okay. Now we target this, sacrificing this. Killing that. And then now I'll use take up the shield. Again, knowing that they're tapped out goes a long way in doing that. I can do that on attacks instead, and then we still have cut down up, and a land lets us start dropping Necromasses here. Aye. Never lucky, unfortunately, but this can get Death Touch here, so... Alright, let's see if they have a response to this. They don't. Okay. Fine trading. That means we can start casting Necromass. That's a pretty good one. But we have cut down for it. Land off the top would be great. So that now we can do this. And my trade, okay, trading this for a lookout. They're probably going to do it, so I think so. They don't know what we have coming here, so that's why I did that in the order that I did. It's a good one. Gains indestructible. See if they have a way to kill this Necromass. Okay, they're just preventing some damage here. Uh-oh. No, they have a counterspell. Oh, I thought they did. I thought they got a priority there. Okay, alright. Well, Necromass to Eerie Soul Tender. Did the thing. That's why we're doing this deck. Opponent goes first, but we have a turn 3 Urg if we draw black. Which could be pretty good. We'll lead here. Playing against Ludwig van Beethoven. Okay, well, we have to cast Sleeper, so if they counter it, they counter it. If they kill it, they kill it, but we can't do nothing, so. Okay, well, that makes these cheaper. And black off the top would be great, so we can cast Urg. Instead, we don't really have any plays here. I mean, we could return this, but like that doesn't really accomplish anything. All right, at least we found that. Would love for it to survive. This attack tells me that it wouldn't if we were to block. Seems good on Talus Lookout. Darn. Okay. Oh god, what the heck does that do? I'm sure this is great in their deck. Okay, so they have Flowstone Infusion here. So they're gonna give this +2/-2. It would be a 2/3. So I would trade this and Flowstone for Amplifier plus Flowstone Infusion here, and I could get it back. Or they have nothing, which is fine. Land off the top is, I believe, something we need to keep. So we could go this green, white, kick this, get the creature and the arrest back. Play Sleeper. And now, is it worth Bone Splintering that Talus Lookout? Because if they have like Well, they could have shore up. If they have shore up, I mean, there's nothing we can do about this. That's probably what they have now, actually. They're still getting priority and stuff. They didn't use the +2, -2 Flowstone Infusion last time, so they probably have a shore up on this, so I'm very much worried. Jeez, they're going to get all kinds of triggers on this. Let's see if it's the shore up. Okay, it is, but we do have a rest in hand. I know they get another one, but I'd rather them get another one of these than another Talus Lookout. So the arrest can hopefully... Oh god, now they have another flyer, though. Oh, I can't even cast it, though. Darn. That was a mistake. I can go get the the sleeper again. I don't like doing this, but... Of course they find Impulse, get all of the triggers, and they're going to find another spell off the top, so... Sometimes you're lucky. All we had to do is basically dodge a land there. Or have them just get a land and then things were going to go well. So, yeah. Take 8. Scry 2, draw a card. Probably get another spell. Take 10. Miss a land drop. Move this down to cost 5 if we sacrifice it, but that doesn't really do anything, so... Yeah, I mean, there's no way out of this one here. See if they have a way to protect that. And they do. Don't know what that was, but I'm sure it's enough to kill us. Shore up. Well, those are some seriously nice draws from our opponent there. Must be nice. Alright, risky, but not a hand you can send back. So, gotta keep it. Pray, no Flowstone Infusion. Dodged it. Red-white infantry. Well, that's dying right about now. All right. Well, on to the next one. Well, unlike last hand where we actually had black to cast these spells, this time we do not, so we have to send that one back, and then naturally, I guess we're sending Elso Core back because I don't know if we're ever going to be able to cast it. So, sorry, see you later. Or, in this game, see you never. No blocks, because I'm eventually going to Bone Splinters this to kill something and give that -1, -0, or -1, -1. Now I'm going to give that -1, -1. No big deal, just playing standard here, mono black against mono black. Mono black splashing blue and green. I think I'd like to just do this here. All right. And I'm not going to attack again because this trigger can kill that, so. And they can just get it right back because this died this turn. Okay. I mean, it's something we can cast. We're playing very small ball here this game, but it's something we can cast and not another swamp off the top. Nishoba Brawler. They do not have the mana to return this turn. So I will target this, sacrificing this, giving that -1, -1. And we're already out of gas, basically. Can return these two creatures if we get a green, but... Oh, okay. Well, here's what I'm going to do then. Well, while they have mana up, I don't really want them returning this. And we're not going to use this turn, so... Yeah, go ahead. But if they just pass, I'm gonna... What do they have here? There's an onboard trick. What are we doing? Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. Sure, take that back now. Fine. Alright, repossession is not really getting a whole lot of good things back here. So what could we cast? We don't have Elisal Core in the deck anymore. Or I mean we do, but it's all the way at the bottom. So how do we want to tap here? Trying to think what else is in the deck. Green, Urg, but we can't cast that. Green for this. I don't think it matters. Whoop, thank you very much. And I guess Haunted Mire. Oh, this is going to be busted with cruelty here. Sure. Alright, don't know what their last card is, but I'd like to see it. Might just be a land. Holy thank goodness I did that. Because now I get to get it back. Whew, alright, I debated for this long to start on chapter 2, but thank God I did that. Opponent goes first. We have Splatter Goblin here. No way to play Urg on 3. Unless we draw exactly, well, not that. Punished here for drawing 2 planes. Play Belmore. And that's probably fine enough to use my mana on to cut down here. I'm gonna land on on Splatter Goblin first. Probably fine if they want to counter this. Okay, Impulse, sure. Okay. Yeah, I think so. See if they have a counter spell up. Okay, they do. So let's see if they want to counter this one. Probably will. And we do not have access to green currently, so is it worth just firing this off? Because once we have access to green, we're probably just playing Urg. So I think while the getting's good, I think I'm just going to get it back. Alright, fine, trading this one off here. This is the second time I've done this with this card. I should have played it first, but see, if I played it first, then they might not be incentivized to trade. And I wanted them to actively wanted them to trade. So I'm going to do this. It's less mana efficient, but Cavalier, we get 2 triggers off of this next turn if it survives. Okay, and it did survive. Do not want to trade this for a Figment. Alright, they got their 4th land. Hand is unlocked. Micromancer. Finding Flowstone Infusion to kill Ellis Ilkor. It's almost like I know how this format goes. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to enlist, and I'm going to attack, because this is going to die anyway. And once these 2 die, there's nothing else we have for probably the rest of this game where this is going to be relatively good against. So we'll attack here. I will enlist that. Let's see if they want to trade off, or if they're just going to use their Flowstone Infusion. Looks like they'll use their infusion here. But now we get to play a Necromass, so. My dog just came into the room here, so say hello, although you can't see him. He's hanging out behind us, giving us the good luck. Yeah, I'll pay the ward too. Urg kind of getting stuck in our hand here. It's not great. Oh, okay, there we have another one. Here come the blue-red spells with 2, 3, 4 terrors in their deck. This format is a lot about these cost-reducing cards here. They're getting priorities, so timely interference is what I'm thinking. But ours has Death Touch, so if that's the case, it still works. I'm gonna hold the land. Shadow Prophecy is a decent draw here. The other Repossession's a good draw. Cruelty's a good draw. Radiant Drove is fine, I guess. Well, I mean, we're not gonna not attack, right? Go to 3. Have nothing. Five-mana draw 3. Instant speed, not too bad. What else you got now? Amplifier kicked to bounce this to our hand, but that's okay because it's super cheap. Green, black, black. Necromass 1. Necromass 2. These cards are fun. When it goes right on your side. But we have used all of our Necromasses here, so alright, looks like they are cycling that Timely Interference that I did correctly put them on. Oh no, it's forced to block. Okay, so they're going to trade here. Haunting Figment. Yep. Oof. Well, could have been fun. But looks like we got that W anyway. All right. 4-1. Let's keep this deck rolling. We are on the play with Cult Conscript, turn 1. Going against a high diamond player here, but that's about expected. I think we might have reached Plat 2. We might still be in Plat 3, I'm not sure, but we're climbing the ranks here at some point. Okay, play Radiant Grove. Yeah, while they're tapped out in blue-red, I'm going to do this. So they can't counter it now. There are many things in this color pair that can kill this card now, but, I mean, there's not much. I mean, we never really had a chance to hold up, take up the shield the same turn we cast that, because we only had 1 white mana. So that's just kind of what we had to do there. Untapped land would be great so we could resolve a cruelty. Two-one flyer, holding up Essence Scatter mana. Is it worth protecting this? I mean, they don't have an instant, so unless they have negate. And let's see if they do counter this one. No, they had nothing. Alright, well, barricade, sacrificing goblin, killing mystic would be a pretty good line for next turn if they don't have a way to interact with that. That's kind of a way to interact with that. Interesting. I guess they just didn't want us to have the 3-1? Or the 3-2? I'd rather trade this for Mystic here. That's why I'm doing it this way, rather than attacking, because I don't want it to trade for Amplifier. And then we go double Conscript. Hopefully no bomb. Not a bomb, but it's definitely a good one. We'll start this here on 1, see what they got in their hand. Okay, that's the second person who scooped to Cruelty of Gix. It's a really, really good card. Oh, we are in Plat 2, almost in 1 here. Okay, we're on the play. We have Goblin and Bone Splinters, and ideally gonna find a white. I'd say usually when I keep hands like this, it does work out, but there are certainly times when it doesn't, and those stick out as being moments when it really feels bad. But already got a green, so that's pretty good with repossession here. Lots of blue-red today. Alright, well this is going to be quite an easy Bone Splinters turn. Targeting that, sacrificing this, killing the Illusionist here. Don't like to see the second infantry and swamp off the top. Yeah, if we don't find something quickly here, this game might get out of hand quickly. See if they have shore up. No. See if they have essence scatter. If they did, they didn't want to use it. Okay. Here comes Tolarian Terror. Espionage unkicked. We really need to find an answer to this card, because right now it's not going well. That also doesn't help. Yeah, an unanswered infantry is certainly difficult here. All they gotta do is drop a terror and we're kind of out of gas. Outrider's big enough as well. And all the lands off the top is not gonna do the trick for us. This tells me they don't have an instant, but like, can I not block? Yeah, they don't have an instant. Oh, got rid of 2 more lands. That's nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 7 lands in our last 23 cards here. No attacks. I am going to play this in the event that this dies. We could return something. They're flooding out too. Haughty Jin. They do have a counterspell here, so... Unfortunately, whatever we do draw to get us out of this, the Essence Scatter is going to eat it. Yeah, there's 2-turn clock there. Oh, look what it is. Alright. Well, don't think we have a way to get out of this one anymore. Unfortunately. Yeah. And then here comes the Essence Scatter that I'm sure they'll use. Doesn't really matter. I mean, whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Maybe these creatures can combine to deal 13 damage. Maybe that's an out for us. Okay, well. Yep, not much to say about that one. Okay, opponent goes first, but at the very least we can cast Urg on 3 and Shadow Prophecy to find a couple more things for us. So, just gotta hope they're not red-white. Okay, good, good. These are all good things. Alright, cross your finger, no Essence Scatter. Awesome. In formats with good playable counterspells, at common, I'm just always so scared. Like, I forget what the last format was that had Syncopate in it. But it was just so annoying. It was just like, okay, I Syncopate for what? Syncopate? Yeah, it was certainly something. But now with Essence Scatter, it's the same thing. It's like, okay, they have Essence Scatter, they always have Essence Scatter. But they do have the full domain minus green. Look to be a domain deck. Maria's Outrider, maybe. Hurler Cyclops. Put 2 of them into my hand. And I don't think that's exactly what we want here. I think I am okay too for wanting myself to get rid of this thing, because it can attack through our Urg, which I don't want to happen. So I'll do this and I'll hold up Cut Down. That's not gonna... Cut Down won't do much on that. That's decent, I guess. And pass. I think we have to take... Alright, now they have... Oh, nope. Still missing green. Thought that was the one they were missing. Vivisector. So do we chump with this to make this cheaper? If we draw land, we can hold up, take up the shield as well? There's just so much that can go wrong with that. One top, still getting priority, have an instant here. I think we have to keep it. Play this Necromass. I think I'm planning on jumping with the 1/1 here. Okay, it resolved, and let's see if it stays there. Nope. And we can't even get it back with Urborg Repossession, so that sucks. Can get back a Splatter Goblin right now, that's about it. No more instants from them, so that's good. But that also means I can have just some good creatures. I mean, I'm not gonna bin that, so I'm gonna cast it. Some more chumping on deck for us. Then we could return a couple of those things. Would very much like Elisol Core to survive to our turn because we have take up the shield to protect it, but they've got all kinds of colors and access to all kinds of removal spells over there. So I'm not counting on that. Garna. Man, they are a pile of mana, aren't they? Was it attacking? It was attacking. Okay. Didn't know how that interaction worked exactly, but apparently it was still being declared as attacking, and we had not gone on to the next step yet. So let's hope they didn't top deck the removal spell they need for LSO Core here. I kind of meant to attack with, or chump with Cavalier there so I can get that one back. Gives us an extra chump body. God. Yeah, they're just playing too many chonkers here. It does get Death Touch. Gosh, we're just gonna draw all the cards here. But I can't just take 10 every turn. So what if I did this and then got one back? They don't have priority, so I can save one here. Which one would I rather save? Probably this one here. Okay, I need to draw 2 more cards. Another one on top. Probably going to return this here this turn at some point. I mean, they have like 9 mana, so it's pretty easy to do that. Well, unfortunately, I can't even cast it, so I don't think I can keep it. I can get it back. See what they do here about this. They don't have any instants. They have 4 cards in hand, 6 mana, and passed their turn. This is really weird. So I can get Sleeper and Splatter Goblin. So green, this, that way I have 2 black for the sleeper here. Could get Arrest as well, but again, there's no guarantee I cast that at any point here. Okay, they're at 7, and they don't really seem to have a whole lot in their hand that is relevant. Or it just all costs like 10 mana. Maybe some Tolarian Terrors in their hand. Do this here. Take the 2. Oh, they have a sweeper. They have the domain sweeper. Ah, that's gonna suck. Is that what they have? Well, they wouldn't have played that. Bone Splinters? Bone Splinters. Okay. Okay, alright. Well, this is not the end of the world here. Don't need that. Gotta be lethal here, right? Yeah, that's 6. Okay. Their hand was strange. I don't know what they had going on over there, but clearly it wasn't enough to match us up. All right, see if we can get this trophy here, 6 and 2. Okay, opponent goes first. We have a double white card in hand. We have a removal. We have Shadow Prophecy. I don't like this at all. We draw another swamp. At least there's a good target for this. Well, we can't really cast this on 3 swamps because we get to look at the top 1 card of our library, put one of them into our hand and lose 2 life, which is not good. So we need a plains so badly here. I mean, I guess we could do that. We might have to do that. Well, this will be a quick one. Darn. Well, MTG gone and did its MTG related things here. Go to 11. They make us discard a card. Well, good news for you. There are plenty of cards in my hand I can't cast. Alright, let's look at the top 1 card of our library and put it into our hand, lose 2 life. And then have this get killed, take 6 more, go to 3, die to lookout. That's probably how this is going to go. There it goes. Take 6 more, go to 3. And then lookout kills us because we never drew another card. We can do this to survive. Oh, we can't. It won't even let us cast it because we don't have a creature. You have to target the creature first. Okay. Well, that was fun. 6 and 3. I mean, we had a shot there at 7 and 2, and then we just didn't really have much of a game in the last one. So, deck was still pretty fun. I don't think we got a full version of the green-black deck that I really want to have in this format with a lot of Necromancers, a lot of Eerie Soul Tenders, all that kind of stuff. But it was still a good deck. 6 and 3. Never can complain about a 6 and 3. So thanks so much for sticking around at the end of this video, and I will see you next time for your daily draft.